صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ومولاي يا رسول الله. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ومولاي يا أبا عبد الله، يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة. غريب يا مظلوم كربلاء، يا ليتنا كنا معكم سيدي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. لعن الله الظالمين لكم من الأولين والآخرين وألحقهم بدرك الجحيم. قالت سيدتنا ومولاتنا زينب الكبرى صلوات الله وسلامه عليها: ما رأيت إلا جميلا، أولئك قوم كتب عليهم القتل فبرزوا إلى مضاجعهم. صدقت سيدتنا ومولاتنا. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل. Well, the role of Imam Hussain alayhi salam was to revive Islam by exposing Bani Umayyah and telling the Muslim world at that time that those dictators cannot rule in name of Islam. And if those dictators are representing Islam, then nothing of Islam would have remained. Islam would have been changed completely. As probably nowadays we see, the representative of Islam in the media of the world are those who are killing the people and beheading the innocent people and attacking the women, the children in different parts, and you know the political situation nowadays. So those, because their sound is loud and the media is with them and so many cameras are recording what they do, so they became the symbol of Islam, while the true Islam, real Islam, whether it is a Shia Islam or a Sunni Islam, make no difference. All the Muslim sects, they are same about it. They condemn such type of killing, but still their voice is not loud, as voice of those killers, So situation at time of Imam Hussain was like that. Yazid was a dictator, a mischievous person, killing innocent people, usurping the Khilafat of the Ummah, and he want to change Islam completely to make it not Islam of the Holy Prophet Muhammed sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but Islam of Bani Umayyah, a new version of Islam which completely differs from the true Islam. So that is why Imam Hussain took that great stand and that gave such a great sacrifice to save the real Islam and tell the people that what you are seeing and what we are following is totally wrong. And naturally his martyrdom was a shock for the Muslim Ummah, who lost their willpower and lost their vision and lost their way in order to know that, okay, what happened? Why the grandson of the Holy Prophet is taking that great stand and giving that great sacrifice? What is the reason? So that was the role of Imam Hussain, but it would not have been completed without role of Sayyida Zainab Salamullah alayha and other women and children, because army of Bani Umayyah could claim later on that, we don't know what happened to Imam Hussain. Well, he came with 70 people, some thieves, in the street, in the roads, in the desert, they attacked them, killed. Nobody knew what happened, So the story of Karbala would have been ruined completely. Well, nowadays we see similar things, There are thousands or tens of thousands of people are killed or jailed in jails of dictators. And till now the media said, well, we don't know, it is not approved, not authentic, we have not seen. Why? Because they want to hide the facts, So it was the power of Bani Umayyah. They could have removed the benefit and the idea or the spirit of Imam Hussein's movement by their media. So that is why Imam Hussain alayhi salam, he planned that. And even in Mecca, when they asked him that if you are going to be a martyr, then why you are taking the women and children with you? He said, Sha'allahu ayyarahunna sabaya. The will of Allah is that they should be captives, because they are the one who will carry the message of Islam to the people who have lost that vision. And that is why we see Sayyidah Zainab Salamullahi alayha, being a woman, was protected from being killed. Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam was there. He is Imam of the time, no doubt. But if Imam Zain al-Abidin would have said anything, they would have killed him like they have killed others. So the one to protect Imam Zain al-Abidin and to deliver the message of Imam Hussain was only Sayyidah Zainab Salamullahi alayha. That is why in Karbala, when they asked the women and children on the 11th day to ride the camels in order to be taken to Kufa, when she passed to the body of Imam Hussain, the body which was cut into pieces by more than 70 places and wounds and attacks by sword, by spears, she put her hand below the body of Imam Hussain and raised it up, and he said, Allahumma taqabbal minna hadha al-qurban. Oh Allah, accept from us this sacrifice. So he's telling that the message of Imam Hussain was not for worldly desires or selfish desires or just power for sake of power. No, it was a divine movement. That is why he said Allah may accept this sacrifice in his way. And in the way when they came to Kufa, the people of Kufa, though 25 years before, they were ruled by Imam Ali alayhi salam from the year 35 to 40. But Karbala was at the year 61. So there is 20 years gap. They knew Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, and they knew Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain, and they knew Sayyidah Zainab Salamullahi alayha, and they knew how much Sayyidah Zainab was respected by Amir al-Mu'mineen, that a neighbor for her, he said, I was their neighbor for 5 years and I did not hear the voice of Sayyidah Zainab at any time and have not seen her shadow. So the houses were not big houses, small houses with small walls, So if one talks little wide, then naturally the neighbor will hear the voice. Still, he was a neighbor to Amir al-Mu'mineen in Kufa, and he said, for 5 years, I neither heard the voice of Sayyidah Zainab, nor I have seen even her shadow, not to see her face or herself. Amir al-Mu'mineen Salamullah alayhi in Medina, he used to honor the hijab and respect Sayyidah Zainab when she wanted to visit the grave of her grandfather, the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the house of Amir al-Mu'mineen was open to the mosque of the Prophet, and the Holy Prophet is buried in the mosque, so there is no distance. Still, he used to let her go or plan it that at night when nobody is there, and ask Imam Hassan and Hussein to reduce the light of the candles. So he said that I don't want anybody to see the shadow of Zainab, even if somebody in the remote area of the mosque, maybe he is there, he should not see the shadow of Zainab Salamullahi alayha. And she used to come and visit the grave of her grandfather and return back home, which, as I said, her house is attached and door of the house is open to the mosque. So much Amir al-Mu'mineen Salamullahi alayhi were showing the sanctity of Zainab Salamullahi alayha. Actually, this sanctity is like sanctity of Ma'soom. If some people say that she was Ma'soom, she was infallible, okay, she may not be wajib al-isma, as you say, obligatory Ma'soom like the 14 Ma'soom, but she is at that high level that probably she is at the state of Ma'soom as well, At least practically she was infallible because history has not recorded any sin from her, Salamullahi alayha. And she was also trusted by Imam Hussain to look after the affairs of the Muslim Ummah, apparently, though the Imam is her nephew, Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam. But as I said, Imam Zain al-Abidin could not declare himself apparently, otherwise would have been killed. So Sayyida Zainab used to take the order from him and relate it to the people and defend the cause of true Islam, Islam of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, against the false Islam of Bani Umayyad, Umayyad Islam. So there she had that, and when they came to Kufa, they moved to Kufa. In Kufa, well, people hear that there was a war between Muslims and some rebellions, and then the army of Muslims were victorious. People were happy, do not know what is the matter. Of course, the leaders of the tribes of the army, they know what is the situation, but general people, they don't know. There was no radio, newspaper at that time to tell the stories. So people were gathering to see the Khawarij. Some rebellions are there, and then Khawarij have come. So some people of the Kufa asked, they found that women and children are captives beside Imam Zain al-Abidin. His hands were tied to the camel, and they were brought in the main streets toward Qasr al-Imara, the castle where Ibn Ziyad was sitting, the ruler is there. So some people ask you, من أي الأسارة أنتم, from which type of captives you are, Are you from, let us say, from Persia or Africa or Romans, from which they were not really knowing that they are from Ahlul Bayt Salamullahi alayhim. As I said, the media was so much that it want to hide these facts from the public. Well, the answer, some of the women replied that نحن أسارى آل Muhammad, we are captives of Ali Muhammad. You said, well, how come Ali Muhammad are, well, they are Holy Prophet and his progeny are the Muslims, how can they be captives? They said, well, this is what Yazid and Bani Umayyah are doing. Then Sayyida Zainab Salamullah alayha found that the people noticed the children have no cloth because most of their dresses were taken were looted by the army, and some of the children were hungry. So they went and brought some date to give as charity to these children. They didn't know. Some captives, well, some of them are children. They are needy and poor, so they thought that is the situation. So when the children took the date to eat, Sayyida Zainab came to tell them, the people, that we are Ahlul Bayt, we are Ala Muhammad. Sadaqah is haram for us. We are not allowed to take sadaqah from the general people, So she told them, oh, people of Kufa, ban yourself and stop the food you are giving. Sadaqah is unlawful to us, the progeny of the Prophet. So the children, when they heard, each one of them took the date out, and some tell his colleague that our aunt saying it is haram for us to eat. They took the date and gave it back to the people of Kufa. Then when the gathering was big at that place and the people start talking that they say the captives of Ali Muhammad, they say sadaqah is haram for us. So who are those captives in which sadaqah is haram for them? Captives, as usually, free to take them. They are slaves, enslaved, and that is the usual trend of history at that time. So she found now a situation. She just pointed out to people to be quiet, and that shows her great personality. A woman who is captives, and she is on a camel, tired, suffered a lot with all the tragedy she has seen, and now is coming humiliated in hand of the army. Still now she had the gut to deliver that beautiful sermon in front of people of Kufa. And when she pointed out to them, they said, all kept quiet, that you do not hear even their breath. They kept their breath now to breathe so that they may not hear the voice of Sayyida Zainab Salamullah alayha. That shows her great personality, And then she delivered very beautiful sermon and told them that, oh, people of Kufa, you are crying, you are weeping. Do you know what you have done? You have killed the grandson of the Prophet. You have killed the progeny of the Prophet. You have got the family and children of the Prophet, yes, you have to cry, you have to weep. You know, in the day of judgment, what will be your fate. So as a very long sermon, the people, when they heard the sermon of Sayyidah Zainab, they start crying and weeping. They say, well, we didn't know what has happened. Now you are telling us about that. Then Imam Zain al-Abidin, Salamullah alayhi, here, he found probably his aunt is tired and cannot continue. He said, well, my aunt, keep quiet. Anti bihamdillah alima ghair muallima. It's a very great word given to her by Imam Zain al-Abidin, that you, thanks Allah, you are knowledgeable without need to be taught. You know, that word is not easy word to be said to anybody, that you have your vision and knowledge. Inherently, you don't need to be educated or taught by others. Of course, from Imam will not say exaggeration. What he says is exactly what is the truth. You know, Imams, Salamullah alayhim, in their saying, there is no exaggeration. What they say is the truth 100%, no exaggeration. So when Imam said, Bihamdillah alima ghair muallama, means you are knowledgeable without need to be taught. Really, she was like that. And we should not astonish about it, because the long sermon of Fatima al-Zahra, Salamullah alayha, in the mosque of the Holy Prophet, in front of Abu Bakr and others, that it was delivered. That sermon is about 10 pages, and it was remembered right away. It was only one time recited and was remembered by Sayyidah Zainab, and her age at that time was 5 years. And she was the one who related that khutbah to people. Even Ibn Abbas, he said, حدثتنا عقيلة بني هاشم, the great lady among Bani Hashim, Sayyidah Zainab, she told us this sermon of her mother, Fatima al-Zahra, and her age was age of 5 years, you know. So when Imam tell her that you are knowledgeable without need to be taught, really she was at that high and great position, you know. As I said, if some people say she is infallible, that is not exaggeration. It might be true. As I said, it's different from infallibility of the 14 ma'soom, because that is wajib al-isma, obligatory infallibility. But this is the practical infallibility. However, after that, Imam Zain al-Abidin, Salamullahi alayhi, delivered a lecture there, and he educated the people about the crime they have done, and they should know what they have done. And it is not that easy to pass on it when they killed the grandson of the Holy Prophet, his Bani Hashim, the companions, for no reason, you know, because if somebody is killed, he must be a fighter coming to fight. But if somebody is not fighting, should not be killed, you know. It was a trend of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, those who fight you, you fight with them, different. If they run away, leave them. Do not go behind them and kill them if they run away, because when they run away, they are not fighting. Imam Ali alayhi salam, he did the same at the battle of Jamal, the battle of Camel, when Aisha and Talha and Zubair, they brought that big army from Basra, and it caused 20,000 person was killed. And when they surrendered, Imam Ali did not kill the rest of the people. Even Marwan ibn al-Hakam and Abdullah ibn Zubair, who were leaders of that army, they were there, but Imam Ali did not kill them, because they surrendered. You see, as long as they are Muslim and they surrendered, then I am not supposed to kill them. Even his army, his people, they said, well, as long as their blood is lawful for us, because we fought them, we killed them, they wanted to kill us, we killed them. Why not to get their women and as captives and get their wealth as our favor and money lawful for us? Imam said, no, they are Muslims. The Muslims cannot be dealt in that way. They said, how come if we can kill them, we cannot take them as captive? Then he want to give them an example that it is impossible. He said, okay, who will take Aisha in his share, you know, as captive? Well, they kept it quiet. Who can take Aisha al-Mu'mineen, wife of the Prophet, will be enslaved by which Muslim? So they realized the law that when they fight, Muslims fight, as long as there is war and they are going to attack and kill, then one is allowed to defend himself. When they surrender, then they should not be killed. Well, even in Nahrawan, later on, when Khawarij took a stand, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam said, who will go to them and carry the Quran and call them for the peace? And I know they are going to kill him, but then I guarantee that he will go to paradise if he is killed, martyrs. One of the young people came and said, yeah, Amir al-Mu'mineen, I will be ready to go, and if I am martyred, no problem. So he carried the Holy Quran and went in front of the Kharijis and told them that Imam Ali is calling you to the Holy Quran. Why you are killing the innocent Muslims and fighting? They said, well, we don't know what you say, and had an arrow, and they killed him. When they killed him, then Imam Ali said, okay, now it is allowed for us to fight with them. Because they start the bloodshed first. If they would have not started that, then Imam Ali would not have started the war. So you see, there are rules and regulations. Ahlul Bayt never started a war before the enemy attacked them or deserves to. He killed some people. Otherwise, Imam Hussain alayhi salam said also, إني أكره أن أبدأهم بقتال. I hate to start to fight with them. I should not start. If they start, fine. I will not start. When he met Hur at the road to Karbala, Hur was outside Kufa, and Hur had only 1,000 soldiers with him. And some of the companions of Imam Hussein said, yeah, Abu Abdullah, we'll kill them. 1,000 is not a big deal for us. We have so many brave people, they can kill them. Why we agree that they prevent us from entering Kufa? We kill them and we will go to Kufa. Imam said, no, I hate. They did not come to fight. They said, we will stop you here till we see what Ibn Ziyad will say. They did not fight. Hur did not fight Imam Hussein at the beginning. Of course, later on he repented and he joined Imam Hussein in Karbala. But about 3-4 days before that, when Imam Hussein was coming to enter Kufa, Hur was outside, prevented him from going to Kufa. He said, I have an order to keep you here and send a message to Ibn Ziyad that you are here. Then Imam Hussein moved toward Karbala. Karbala was far from Kufa. Kufa was nearer to him. He moved and Hur was with him till he reached Karbala. Then Imam Hussein stopped in Karbala. So what I mean, the law that we should not start war. Now, Sayyidah Zainab Salamullah alayha and Imam Zain al-Abidin tell them, the people of Kufa, they were killed without doing any sin. They were innocent. They did not kill anybody, did not change anything. You called Imam Hussein to come and be the leader, and you promised to pledge allegiance with him, and some pledged allegiance with Muslim ibn Aqil, and he came. So don't you see that why you have killed Imam Hussein? Now the people realize that what big crime they did, because Imam Hussein, well, besides being grandson of the Prophet, he was innocent, and he did not come to fight. If he would have come to fight, he would have brought a big army with him. He will not come with his family and children and 72 companions only to be with him. So that was the first exposure of the people to know the facts. And later on, Fatima al-Sughra also, she delivered a lecture there, and the people were astonished how eloquent are Ahlul Bayt Salamullah alayhim. One elderly man was weeping and he said, may Allah bless you, Ahlul Bayt. Your elderly people are the best among elderly people, and your young children are the best among the young people. Because all of them, what they deliver is deliver facts, true things, clear ideas about true Islam, true message of Islam. And such message of Islam you don't find in lectures or sermons delivered by others, that style which goes along the Holy Quran is only style of Ahlul Bayt. That is why we say Imam Hussain, Warithul Anbiya, he inherited Adam alayhi salam, Noah alayhi salam, Ibrahim, Musa, Isa, Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. However, after that, they brought the caravan of Ahlul Bayt as captives to the castle of Ibn Ziyad. Ibn Ziyad has a big room and they were kept in the corner. Ibn Ziyad were looking to the ladies, to the children who are there, and then he found one lady, is mentioned in history, Jalisa Mutanakkira, is turning her face from him and do not want him to know her. So that was for him is strange. Usually they look to the Amir and they are afraid, and that one. Who is this lady who is careless about him and his position and his power and his dictatorship? And he asked that, who is she? Well, she did not reply. Again he asked, who is she? Well, she did not reply. Third time, one of the ladies there, they said she is Zainab, daughter of Amir al-Mu'minin, Zainab bint Ali alayhi salam. Then now Ibn Ziyad wanted to take revenge from Zainab. So he said, thanks God who killed your brother and those who are rebellion from your family. So it is he wants to say that God killed them, not he killed them and his army killed them. You see the psychology? So we thank God because God killed them. We are not responsible. God. Then she replied him right away that, if that will give you satisfaction, okay, you are satisfied and happy. But I have not seen except good from Allah. Ma ra'aytu illa jamila. Those people, the death was written upon them, so they have gone to their fate and destiny. But in the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will resurrect you with them, and you see there in the day of judgment who is the successful and who is the losers. Then she told him, ثَكَلَتْكَ أُمُّكَ يَبْنَ مَرْجَانَ. May your mother sit in mourning for your death. Is ثَكَلَتْكَ أُمُّكَ, a term in Arabic is used. May you die and your mother weep for you. يَبْنَ مَرْجَانَ, not son Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad, not Ibn Ziyad, Ibn Marjana. Well, Marjana is mother of Ibn Ziyad, and she was known to be a bad woman, So she reminded him that you are an illegal man, and that is why you dare to kill the innocent people. If you would have been with honor, with respect, you would not have done that with innocent people, especially grandson of the Holy Prophet and his family. So he was very much annoyed when he heard that from her, and he tried to whip her. Then Amr ibn Harith told him that, well, she is a woman, and the woman is not to be questioned about what she says, And then he was angry about that, and he said, well, the one who came out of the religion was your father and your brother, all they were away out of religion, She said, well, with religion of my father and my brother and grandfather, you and your people become a Muslim, They brought the Islam. Well, Islam was brought by grandfather, her grandfather, the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and was expanded by Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam, and was saved and revived by Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So he wanted to, has no answer, nothing, and that is the humiliated people, they want to take revenge in a way. He has no logic to discuss. He brought the head of Imam Hussain and started beating the head with his sticks so that the children may see that and their hearts will burn for that. Then he tried to also to kill Imam Zain al-Abidin. So he pointed out that who is this boy? They said he is Ali ibn al-Hussein. He said, didn't Allah kill Ali ibn al-Hussein? Well, he meant Ali ibn al-Hussein al-Akbar, the elder brother of Imam Zain al-Abidin. Imam Zain al-Abidin told him that I had a brother called Ali, the people killed him, not Allah. Ibn Ziyad said Allah killed him. Imam Zain al-Abidin said no, the people killed him. He said, do you have reply? You reply me, but Allah killed them. He said, well, Allah yatawaffa al-anfus hina mawta. Yes, Allah will take the souls when they are dead. So Imam recited the verse from the Holy Quran. He said, do you dare to talk to me? Kill him. He should not be alive. Then Sayyidah Zainab here now to protect him, she hugged him and he said, Ibn Ziyad, it is sufficient for you, those who have been killed, and this is the only one who left for us. If you want to kill him, kill me before him. Well, he felt ashamed to kill somebody who is sick and innocent and sitting there, and what Sayyidah Zainab, he said, okay, leave him for her. Then they kept them in an open ground, in the outside of Imara. Open means there is no roof, no face, no walls, just under direct sunlight as humiliation to them. So they were there, and it is said on the day 13th, suddenly Sayyidah Zainab noticed that Imam Zain al-Abidin is not there. She was worried. Where has he gone? Well, Imam Zain al-Abidin, by miracle, he came to Karbala. Well, it is said that Bani Asad, the tribe of Bani Asad, they were living in Karbala, and their women used to come out and they saw the dead bodies unburied, because Umar ibn Sa'd buried his people and he left body of Imam Hussain, Bani Hashim, other ashab unburied on the ground. So they found these bodies are not buried, and they told their men that if you are coward and afraid, then we will go as a woman, we will bury these bodies. Don't you feel ashamed that these people are not buried for 3 days here? Well, the people came and felt ashamed from what the women are saying. Of course, they were afraid of Abdullah ibn Ziyad, because the situation was very tight and they were afraid to be killed, That was the reason. They came and they found the bodies are beheaded, so they don't know this man, what is his name and what is the other one name. And they were at that position when they found that somebody is coming from side of Kufa. So they sent someone, they said, if he is from side of Ibn Ziyad, tell us so that we'll go. But if he is not, then we know who is he. Suddenly, Imam Zain al-Abidin reached beside them and he told them, what are you doing here? Now, because they didn't know him, they said, okay, we are coming just to look. He said, no, tell me the truth, why you are here. They said, well, the truth is that we want to bury these bodies, but we don't know their names and who they are. There is no head and not known. Imam Zain al-Abidin said, okay, I will tell you. Then he dig a place and said, these bodies are place of Ansar. Those are the Ansar of Imam Hussein. In one grave they put them. And then they said, there is one body we tried to lift as much as we can, but we cannot lift. He said, okay, I can do it, bring me a small, what you call this, wooden carpet, which is made, hasir. And he said, bring me one. And then he carried the body of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, which was cut into pieces, and put it there. And he said, I will carry that. He said, how can you carry? We tried to lift any part of this body and we failed. He said, well, I have someone with me who will help me. And he carried alone the body of Imam Hussein and brought it to the grave. and heard the voice of Imam Hussain that, "Oh my son, keep Abdullah al-Radi' with me on my chest." So he brought the body of the small child, the Abdullah al-Radi', and put him on the chest of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And then he put the clay over the grave, and when he covered the grave, he wrote about on the grave, "هذا قبر الحسين ابن علي الذي قتلوه عطشانا." This is the grave of Hussein ibn Ali, who was killed as thirsty, to remind the people that this tragedy happened, which never happened even to animals. Nobody keep the animal thirsty. The enemies should not be kept thirsty. And then he stood up and said, "Well, anybody remain?" They said, "Yes, we have seen, it looks very brave man, but he is near the river." He said, "Yes, he is my uncle, let us go there." In the way, he picked up something. They looked, and he has picked up a hand, cut hand. And then again, when he moved, he found another hand. So he picked up both hands of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas and carried him to the grave. And he told them that this is the grave of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. Sayyidah Zainab Salamullah alayha was waiting for him when he returned back. And she told him, "Oh, my nephew, where have you been?" He said, "Amma, just now I returned after burying my father and others." She said, "Till today, after 3 days, they were not buried?" He said, "Yes, this ummah did that until now they were not buried." إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين. اللهم إنا نسألك وندعوك بجلال وجهك الكريم وقرآنك العظيم وبمحمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين أن تعجل فرج وليك صاحب العصر والزمان، وأن تجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه ومن المجاهدين بين يديه. اللهم املأ به هذه الأرض قسطا وعدلا بعدما ملئت ظلما وجورا. اللهم اكشف به هذه الغمة عن هذه الأمة. اللهم انصر به الإسلام والمسلمين في كل مكان. اللهم اقض بأهل البيت سلام الله عليهم حوائجنا، واشف بهم مرضانا، وارحم بهم موتانا، واغفر بهم ذنوبنا، ووسع بهم أرزاقنا، وبارك بهم لنا في ديننا ودنيانا وآخرتنا، ولا تسلط علينا من لا يرحمنا، وارزقنا في الدنيا زيارتهم، وفي الآخرة شفاعتهم، وفي الجنة مرافقتهم مع الشهداء والصالحين، وحسن أولئك رفيقا. وإلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات، خصوصا العلماء والشهداء والصالحين، وإلى روح المرحوم الحاج محسن طعين والحاج أحمد عبد الحسن طعين والحاج بهية جاسم محمد، أقرباء أخونا أبو محمد قاسم، رحم الله من يهدي لهم جميعا ثواب الفاتحة قبلها صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.